Hi everyone, today we want to talk about a story of 80 percentiler in the CMAT exam. And TIS, you got a call from TIS as well?
Yes, I got a call.
Fine. So let's talk about the journey of your preparation for CMAT TIS exam. And the main thing we want to showcase today is not the end of the story. Not getting a good score is not the end of the story. He is now going to work in a very, very good company. So anyway, we'll talk about all these things. So let's start with the background first. Where from?
I'm from Udaipur, Rajasthan. I have done my BTech in Electronics and Communications, and I passed out in 2019. I had some backlog, so I have to clear that also. Then I started preparing for my UPSC exam in 2020, and I prepared for 2 years. I've cleared the pre of UPSC pre, and then I've set for UPSC mains. Simultaneously, I also gave some Armed Forces examination, got into rejected in SSB 3 times. So that was the whole rejection type phase I was there.
The UPSC का problem है यार. If you crack UPSC, you are the king of the country. But you could not crack, you are back to a BCom or a BMS or an engineer, yes. Whichever way wherever you come from. Yes. So that's one sad point. But yeah, MBA have become a good backup support for all the people who are going to UPSC. So tell me one thing, yaar. What I'm now recommending other people that if you are planning for UPSC, it's a long-term plan. You can't crack. It's very difficult to crack in the first attempt.
Yes, sir.
So is it okay if I give CAT exam simultaneously? Because MBA exam is comparatively more easier.
So because if you are preparing for UPSC, you have to prepare for CSAT.
Correct.
So CSAT is completely what you have to give in CAT.
Correct.
So your preparation for CAT is also there. So you can give CAT as a back-end option, because if you are not clearing UPSC, CAT is also there. You can have 2 years of backup option. You can work in an MNC and then can also apply for UPSC again after 2 or 3 years. That is also there.
Right.
So because my UPSC preparation, I gave TIS in 2022. I sat for an interview. I totally messed it up, so not selected. Then after TIS result came, there was 1 week gap between CMAT. So
last hope
for an average student to give a CSAT exam. So I gave CMAT. I have scored decent. I sat for this WeSchool interview, cracked it. There was one more college that I cracked. So I preferred this because it's an IT hub. And Bangalore being a booming city, so let's go for WeSchool. So that is my story, how I came and landed in WeSchool.
Right. So the moment we talk about this thing, Udaipur guy coming to Bangalore.
Yes, sir.
So what was the main factor in that? Because Udaipur wale ko bahar to nikalna hi tha, because obviously you had that thing. So
basically,
why not Mumbai और कि जहाँ मुझे मिला वही अपना?
नहीं, जहाँ मुझे मिला वो वाला सीन नहीं था, because I didn't want to go into a technical field, so I was being offered e-base and some core program in Mumbai, but I did opt for this because my specialization BD gives me an edge over, I would say, for other what we can say specialization, because it's something new that you do in your career, something new ways to look at some problems and to how to solve them. That's why I opted for Bangalore, because it's had some what I can say is outstanding program for BD and as an innovation program. That's why I opted for Bangalore.
Correct. How much you scored in this exam?
This I just barely cleared the cutoff. 67 was the cutoff, I think. So I barely 68 was my score.
Wow, so cutoff is the big thing. So can you give us a 1 minute tip kind of thing on GK? Because GK is one factor, main factor.
So if you're preparing for TIS, you have to be thorough in what is going in the current world and what is the history. So basically they ask question about what is, if we go about dances, what are the dances, who is great in that form. Like Pandit Vidyut Maharaj was one question that I still remember was there. From which gharana he belonged to. I did it wrong. So that is, what is the government scheme that are going on? It's like Gati Shakti scheme and all the schemes that government is running. That is one part. And basically on the current affair, what is happening in the world from last 6 months. You can prepare from last 6 months and you can clear. GK is very easy. Max is very easy.
So you have become from a
UPSC, I had some control over my GK.
Correct.
So GK was simple for me. My main criteria of concern was Max, because I'm not good at Max. Engineering also, no good marks in Max, M3, M1, M2, M3, totally messed all these 3 subjects. So my stronghold की GK निकालना है, GK से ही नैया पार होगी यहाँ पे.
Correct. तो भाई GK सवाल लो. So if I start preparation for TIS in 1 month, can I crack GK?
Not in 1 month. You need 2.5 months of preparation for GK, because
last 6 months का GK कर लो.
पूरा GK का अच्छे से कर लो, हो जाएगा. वो पक्का से हो जाएगा.
ठीक है भाई, किताब खोल के बैठ जाओ. तो CMATking.com/GK और TISking.com/GK. I've given last 1 year का GK का PDF. So, I personally believe you studying from PDF, you won't remember. If you can make your own notes.
Yes.
Then तो would you
खुद के
recommend same
नोट्स
thing?
होंगे तो ये कि मैंने लिख रखा है, मेरे को पता है कि मेरे को कहाँ से जाके वापस रेफर करना है, और वापस जब मैं एग्जाम के लिए भी जा रहा हूँ उस दिन मेरे को लास्ट दिन क्या क्या पढ़ना है, मेरा स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट क्या है, मेरा वीक पॉइंट्स क्या है, अवार्ड्स आएंगे तो कहाँ से आएंगे। और मैंने भी CET किंग से पढ़ाई करी, लास्ट में PDF से सब कुछ पढ़ा था कि अवार्ड्स कहाँ पे हैं, कौन कौन से अवार्ड्स कहाँ मिलते हैं, प्राइज मनी कितना है, वो सब। सो हाँ, अगर 6 महीने का पूरा GK पढ़ लोगे तो टेस्ट क्लियर कर सकते हो। इंटरव्यू का फिर अपने आप से देखना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि इंटरव्यू दे प्योर HR का लेते हैं और HR का बहुत अच्छे से होता है।
So what we do every year we make a GK Bible.
Yeah.
So if you can just cover that part at least, like I can't promise you कि तुम टॉप ही करोगे, but yeah you can at least clear the cutoff and survive the exam.
Yes. GK कर लोगे तो कट ऑफ अपने आप ही क्लियर हो जाएगा। मैथ्स और इंग्लिश तो नॉर्मल, उसका बहुत इजी तो नहीं कहूँगा लेकिन सही लेवल का आता है, कर सकते हैं आसानी से। मैथ्स एंड इंग्लिश इज़ डूएबल। GK इज़ वेयर, बिकॉज मैंने जब स्टार्टिंग करा था वीडियोस में यही था कि टेस्ट के लिए UPSC के बंदे ही बैठेंगे और वो फिर लेजेंड्स ही होते हैं कि 2-2 3-3 साल प्रिपरेशन करके आ रहे हैं, तो GK तो एकदम फाड़ के रखते हैं।
So you had a gap in between?
I have a 3 years gap. 2019 I graduated and 2022 I enrolled in this college.
So was that any concern in the interview? Because of course every day they want to ask you कि 3 साल क्या किया?
Sir, interview if you can run it on yourself, कि UPSC में एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल देते हैं कि अगर वो तुमसे पूछे कि तुम्हारे फादर का नाम क्या है तो इंटरव्यू आपके साइड जाए, अगर वो पूछे कि मेरे फादर का नाम क्या है तो इंटरव्यू आपका नहीं होने वाला है। तो अगर इंटरव्यू अपने हिसाब से चलाने का ट्राई कर सकते हो तो यू कैन डू एनीथिंग। 3 years गैप जस्टिफाइबल होता है, कोई परेशानी में फ्रेशर हूँ।
UPSC का गैप इज द बेस्ट गैप,
बेस्ट जस्टिफाइबल गैप। पूछते हैं कि व्हाट दे आस्क इज कि व्हाई आर कमिंग टू MBA, तो वो क्वेश्चन अच्छे से प्रिपेयर होना चाहिए कि UPSC के बाद MBA में क्यों आना चाह रहे हो और हमारे कॉलेज में कैसे वैल्यू ऐड करोगे। और यही अगर प्लेसमेंट सीजन में भी वही पूछेंगे कि वापस UPSC करना है या नहीं करना है।
Correct. See, from a UPSC point of view, there's a term you call UPSC reject or whichever you say. But
UPSC
when it comes to
also.
failure, I don't like those terms, yeah. But when it comes to the MBA, you are a UPSC tried at least. Fine, because हमारे MBA वालों के लिए वही बहुत बड़ी बात है कि उन्होंने UPSC ट्राई किया भाई 2 साल।
सो अगर UPSC का एक्सपीरियंस अपने आप में पूरा लाइफस्टाइल है, पूरा एक्सपीरियंस अपने आप में रहता है। सो अ पर्सन हु हैज़ अ 3 years वर्क एक्स, यू कैन इजीली कम्पीट विद हिम इन कॉलेज बिकॉज यू हैव अ 3 years एक्सपीरियंस इन लाइफ। आई वुड से कि लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस इज not say bigger but at par with an experience of a corporate person.
Correct. See, in corporate your knowledge is limited to this area. If you try to look here, a boss will give you a slap nahi to focus on your work. But for UPSC you have to prepare that much. The vision have to be high.
Yes sir. UPSC it's like कि आग का दरिया तैर के जाना ही जाना है, तो जाओगे तो निकल गए तो बहुत अच्छा, नहीं निकले तो
नहीं होता। MBA तो है ही अपने
MBA तो कर ही सकते हैं, बट MBA नहीं कि कहीं से भी कर लो, चूज अ गुड कॉलेज, एटलीस्ट कि Tier 2 कॉलेज में तो घुस ही जाओ एकदम।
Correct. So even for WeSchool interviews that was not a problem. Interview
not a problem because I cleared it out in the first on my go. Tell me about yourself. I prepared for UPSC. Then I shifted my course because I failed. I was not failed. I was not successful.
Correct.
So then they asked, what is your plan? Why are you coming to this college after going for UPSC? I was like, need to change there because I'm not succeeding there. So just to have a backup option. You have to be totally truthful to the interview.
Correct. You can't lie anymore.
Then my interview was on the lines of what I know about politics, polity, what are the social economic conditions of the world. So they asked about some news channels.
That is your area.
What is your interview? What is your perspective through these type of news channel? Would you say India is progressing in a good way? So what is the policing system? What are your thoughts on that? So that was my interview and that was my experience. So I was like, it's a good experience. I have used my UPSC knowledge here.
Correct. So finally, he have got placed in a good company, MNC company. He don't want to tell me the name, and so with around 14-15 lakh a package. So at the end of the day, it's a successful end of a good successful
story for me because while interview, I think my graduation marks is also low. So it was I think the company that I was aiming for, I got into that company on the what you call day 0 for me. So it was a good story. I would not say the ending, but let's see what.
Correct. So, but if I see your story now, so I've seen other people as well. Some of them are very good academically.
Yes.
So their story, they're already top, but they were kind of privileged.
Yes,
but after talking to you, I realize you are a live example of hard work.
Yeah.
तुम्हें कुछ प्लेट में नहीं मिला है, तुमने मेहनत करनी पड़ी।
प्लेट में कुछ नहीं मिला है, बहुत बार ठोकरें खाई है, मुंह के बल भी गिर गया हूँ 1-2 बार। घर पे से ही पढ़ रहा था क्या कर रहा है कि 3 साल बर्बाद हो गए, क्या करना है। लेट्स डू MBA. MBA इज अ गुड ऑप्शन। घर पे भी थोड़ा शांत रहेंगे 2 साल।
Correct.
But it's a good experience. If you come to an MBA college, you get to learn a lot of things.
No, yes. A lot of people can relate to you. and you are an inspiration for many students. All the
Thank
best.
you.